Hello, welcome to What's the Word, episode 9. I have just got my show taken over by my boy Kev T, who is with me. As you can see, he's tapping in. He's more official than me with that green screen over there. He played the part. Okay, you got the pajama top on. I ain't even got my pajama top on tonight. You trying to take pajama top king while I'm, what I'm saying? Because I said I was pajama top queen. So you try to pull up with the nicer pajama top. What's that, Versace?
I only just try to show up appropriately. And I'm saying, like, if I'm gonna be on the wind down, I figured, I might bring out something that kind of like pajamas since we getting ready to wind down for the evening. So, I'm saying, I just wanted to show up appropriately, I'm saying, for tonight's festivity.
We appreciate it. We love it here. What's the word? So today we're going to give them a word on creative careers. But before we jump into the creative careers and all that entails, I want us to get into some bizarre news. So for the bizarre news this week, I decided to tap into just like what are some creative careers and what do people make? And I'm just like, okay, they have the regular art therapists. They make like $50 an hour, like just healing kids doing art in a room, like. And but then the ones that popped out to me were a flavorist. Do you know what a flavorist is?
What a flavorist? If I could guess, I mean, do they maybe like make the flavors on something? They taste.
They make flavors. They literally create natural and artificial flavors. You have to have extensive knowledge of essential oils, botanical extracts, flavor aromas, and essences.
Okay.
So you gotta learn some shit to be a flavorist.
Do you need to like go to school for that? Like you need a degree?
Yeah.
Or should I could just go take like, a YouTube online oils course or something? Like how do I get into that field?
I don't know, but you know what, Kevin, with anything, you can go to YouTube for it all now.
You go. There you go. But I can't.
Okay, nothing.
How much does a flavorist make?
$35 an hour.
Good Lord. Oh, I'm out, yo. Nah, I mean, they deserve to get paid like that. Because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Life is nothing without a little flavor. So, they got a very responsible job.
I know that's right. That was, speaking of flavors, the next job that I thought was interesting was master marijuana extractor.
Wait. The master extractor. Okay.
Master marijuana extractor. It's the master for me. Master was like, all right.
Okay, well, what's the difference between a master marijuana extractor and just a regular entry-level extractor?
Like it says you're in a position where you process marijuana to produce edibles, oils, and concentrates. So you're basically taking weed and creating another form of weed.
Okay. So you're a little higher up on the scale because, you're not just picking it to smoke it. You're picking it to evolve it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it says you do not need a degree in this field. You can just learn how to do it.
I mean, that makes sense. Okay, how much do they get paid?
$85,000 a year.
Good Lord.
But then again, you know what? I know some street marijuana extractors and they making more than $100K.
I was say it depends on which lane you're trying to go with this.
That's just according to the national. And then my final and my favorite one is a toy maker makes $100,000 a year. That is appropriate. They need to pay these elves what I'm saying, they deserve.
Nah, the elves need to get theirs. But let me just ask you out of curiosity. I mean, which kind of toys are we talking about here?
It just said toys. It just said toys. But you know what? You know
what I'm saying? Because I feel like the person who's making the Power Rangers should get a different pay. You know what I'm saying?
Who do you think should be getting paid more?
I mean, shit. Nah, the person making the rabbit definitely needs to get paid more because, you know what I'm saying? They helping.
It's more in high demand.
It's more in high demand, but honestly, they're keeping a lot of, women sane, a lot of relationships going. They need to get theirs. Pay the rabbit people.
Yeah, I hope the rabbit people are millionaires. But you know who I really hope is like a billionaire now? The person who made the rose. But anyways, okay. You know what the rose is? You know what the rose is?
I'm gonna have to Google that rose.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. After the ladies, if you know what the rose is, just put a rose in the comments. Just put it in there now.
Put the rose in.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I will say this though. Actually, and I discovered this recently though, but the adult toy industry is a booming industry though. And now with new technology like AR and VR and Bluetooth, there's a lot more expansion that you could do with adult toys at further distances, but we'll leave that there. So
You know
pay,
what
pay
though?
the toy people.
You know, you bring up a good point because now people can get really creative with them toys, right? So,
Mm.
what would you consider that?
Not,
A
and it's,
creative career.
that's a creative career right there. Because you know what's crazy? There was one that I saw that you can actually do it at like a distance. Say you're in a long distance relationship, and I don't know what kind of content you talk about here on your show, but so what happens is, so there's two pieces of this toy. One part goes to the lady, you know what I'm saying, and then the other part goes to the other partner. What happens is, they put this inside their drawers, and then the other person has a Bluetooth remote, and
Oh, I
and
saw Meek Mill talking about that this week.
they want to send the vibes, you know what I'm saying? You do like a little, and I was like,
Hmm.
I thought that was creative, how, what I'm saying, distant lovers could get theirs on too. So yeah, I mean, shout out to all the creative careers out there.
So that's what we're going to talk about next. I want us to get into the word on the street with the creative careers because you are a full-time creative career person, completely on your own. You do your own thing. You have been forever. So my question is, when did you first know that you were creative?
When did I first know I was a creative? It's interesting. So all right, a little background about myself for those of you that don't know. My name is Kevin Talbot, aka Mr. Shot by Smooth. I'm the founder of Talbot Media, and I've been working in the media production space for over a decade now, going on 12 years. And creativity and like storytelling and creative outlets have always been something that I've been involved in since I was a kid. Like even though I played sports, I played, in the band. I was involved in the community. I did all these different things, but I always enjoyed creative stuff like writing, storytelling. I never really knew that it was something I was genuinely good at or it was a skill of mine, until I started to get much older. I say probably sometime in my like teenage years, maybe my young adult years, when like I was that one friend that if we go out and we have a good time and there's a memorable story, they always like, yo, Kev, remember that night? Yo, tell that story. I'm like, yo, I told that story already. And they like, nah, but we like how you tell the story though. And then so I actually, at first it was like, oh, you kind of just think about it like, all right, you just mess around. But then I really started to realize that I really might have a gift with my storytelling, and then from
Mm-hmm.
there, that's actually when I made the conscious switch, like when I was in undergrad, to say like, you know what, maybe let me explore this more as a career. So I would say like probably sometime around then, like when I was in college, like it was something that was always kind of like in me, but just being a kid from the Bronx, you never really saw too many people pursuing creative careers. So I would say my recollection or recognition, I should say, of being a creative was, I would say around that teenage, like young adult age, right before college.
Yeah, that's crazy that you say that. I thought you were going to say way earlier because by college, you were already so advanced in it. Like for me, I have a funny story. So my first grade, I knew because when I was gonna ask you that tonight, I'm like, when did I know? I knew in the first grade I won a citywide Dr. Seuss poetry competition, and then it's like, I feel like being in school, they tell you, you get labels in school like talkative and whatever, but then they also tell you when you do work, you get feedback. Like if you're good at math, you find out. I've always been good at English, and I've always been told I was creative.
Mm,
So it's like when you have that drilled into you, it's like, okay, I guess I am.
right. And it's funny you said that actually. So now talking about it, so going back to this, times I can actually remember in elementary school that I think I got recognition for my creativity. I remember in second grade there was a Halloween story writing contest, and I actually
Hmm.
remember winning that one. And then I would
Hmm.
say in the seventh grades, I don't know if what the school system is like, where you're from, but in New York we started learning about like language arts around like the sixth grade, seventh grade.
Hmm.
So we
Yeah, us
started
too.
like the vocab books where like every week you get like 10 words or something. And so I remember the assignments would be different writing assignments, and the teacher would be like, okay, this week you have to use 7 words out of the 20, or you have to use 10 words out of the 20. All right, extra points if you use all 20 words. And I
Hmm.
never forget there was a young lady who I liked at the time. And I remember one week I wrote her a poem as the writing exercise. And I actually used all 20 words and used them correctly for a seventh grader. And I
Hmm.
never forget my seventh grade teacher, like she pulled me out the classroom. She took me outside. She was like, oh my God, Kevin, like I thought I was about to get in trouble because I was that kid. I was an incredibly smart first honor roll student all the time, but I had a little issue with self-control and, cracking jokes. I thought,
Wait.
I was
Oh, I was about to say, what were you in there
like,
doing?
damn, what did I do now? And she was just like, yo, that poem you wrote was so beautiful. Like, wow, like I can't even believe that. Like, if you use all the words correctly, like, and she hung it up outside in the hallway. And I was like, damn, like, all right, I was just writing this for old girl at recess, but okay. I might got something.
Yo, that's crazy. See, and it's crazy. You didn't even think that far back at first, but now realizing like you've always been creative. Like some people are just creative, and I feel like people need to, So tell us more about like what inspired you to just be like, this is what I'm going to pursue full time. Because we went to college, and a lot of our parents, like our generation, is just our generation in general. It's like go get a job, go work a 9 to 5, go get a college degree. Like, what made you say like, fuck the mold, like, and just leave the workforce and go full time you?
Yeah, now that's a great question, and since we're like kind of talking about this like young formative era, I want to say that one, creativity, people don't realize it. Like they think just because you may not do something creative, like make videos or do something, that you can still be creative, because like creativity is really like, one, it's either doing or creating something new or doing something that's already been done in a new way. So to anybody who's watching, it's just like, just don't think that you have to do something in this field to be creative. You're creative. If you reinvented the mold on how your family did something, you're creative. So now going back to the question.
Look at Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy.
Most creative person in the fucking world. Most creative person in the fucking world. He started everything.
Y'all better put Big Soulja.
You fucking better on Big Soulja. Big Draco.
Rapper without him.
Yo. They said Thomas Edison walked in that room and was pissed because Soulja Boy was already in there discovering the light. I fucking died.
In there. I love it, yo. But yeah, and I would say for me, I always had like an entrepreneurial bug. Like I was always just a kid who always just tried to do my own thing. I never forget this. I was joking. I tell people my first business was when I was in the 8th grade. I never forget, my mother had bought this, and I'm dating myself here a little bit. My mother had bought a CD burner, and we put the CD burner in our Windows 95, PC from Dell. And she honestly just got it so she could just make like gospel CDs or whatever. And me, I don't know how this idea came in my head. I don't know if it was something I just did for myself, and then it just, somebody else asked me to do it for them, and then it trickled into a business, or I just said I'm gonna do this. But I don't know how I got it in my brain to start making bootleg CDs. And
no, you didn't.
I was dead burning the CD.
You had to pop lock and drop episode 5 and shit dropping.
Yo, I had it. I had the album covers printed, using my mother's ink, all of that, and I would be going selling the CDs, like sliding it through the textbook.
Oh shit!
I had my friend.
The plug for real.
I had my friends. Mom was like, "Oh, you think that kid on your basketball team can make me one of them albums?" And now they send the playlist. So from there, I kind of knew. Like I didn't know it was like a thing. But like looking back and knowing, I was just always somebody who I never really tried to break the mold, but I just kind of followed my own lane. And then, secretly, as I grew up and I was going through school, I always knew that I wanted to do something that really impacted people in the world. For me, my mind was just kind of like, okay, well, if I'm a kid from the Bronx, I don't know how I could get to impact somebody, in Asia or Europe. The only way is I got to do something in media. So I knew that I always wanted to work in media. I just didn't know to the extent. But the other side of it too was, I grew up listening to music from guys like Jay-Z, guys like Diddy, Nas. So it's funny because now we all recognize them as their GOAT status, but I grew up listening to, to them talk and tell stories about forging their own lane and doing their own thing. So I think it was just kind of instinctively in me. And then, and then I have friends who always joke, they're like, yo, you gotta remind me of Diddy. Like, and then I don't know, I think I kind of to take that in, where it's like, look, I have this ability to lead people, and I can't, not to knock a job or anything, but I need to be able to work in an arena where I have the control, where I really say, okay, this is how things go, or I get to choose the people I impact. And I knew that's what I wanted to do, but I was like, I got to go through the job force first, at least get my game up. But when I graduated, it took me like 6 or 7 months to actually find a job. Once I found that first job, then I got laid off in 3 months. Second job I found, got laid off again. So it was just going through all of these experiences and realizing that no matter what, if you worked for somebody else, they always had control over you. You know, whether or not you
Yeah.
got schedule or whatever, you know, they control what time you know, you're going to work. They controlling, you know, they control your time. They control your money. And I just didn't want to be in a position like that for the rest of my life. So I always say, you know what, I got to take a shot and do something where I could be.
Our waste her time is trying to trickle on in. We got to get into the waste her time, but that's a great story. That was a great story. That was very inspirational because, you know, I'm trying to leave my work, my 9 to 5, and just do this full time. I've already kind of started it, so, you know, hearing stuff like that is always like super encouraging for me. I hope anybody listening, let us know in the comments if you think about making that jump. Just do it. Just go for it. You only live once. We're not here forever.
That's a fact. And the one thing I will say is, you know, if you in a situation like yours is, you know, you actually kind of have somewhat of a benefit because you're working and you actually have capital. Like you get a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? For me, it had gotten to a point where I wasn't smart about it. I was doing stuff outside of the jobs that I had, but they didn't get to this point where they were sustainable. So when I officially started my business, I was kind of like I was starting from scratch. So that's the one thing I would tell people is if you got a job, like, you know, be thankful for your job, grind it out, but you got to be 1,001% productive with the time you do outside of your job.
Yeah. Yep. You gotta use the time wisely. Shout out to COVID, gave me some extra time. Everybody got a little. If you ain't get nothing else, if you ain't get none of that money, you got a little extra time. Okay. So I hope if you was a creative and you use the COVID time to, and if you didn't, that's okay too. Because some people just was scared in the house or just anxious and couldn't do nothing. That's okay. But
sure.
Time to get started. So let us go into waste our time because you know, this is a favorite segment of mine. I got my boy Trav here with me. Trav got a lot to say about women wasting his time, so I'm gonna let him vent, and Kev gonna give him, you know, Kev begin his time wasted, I begin my time wasted, so we gonna listen to you, Trav. Come join us. Trav.
All right. I thought you had me on mute. My bad. I thought y'all had me on mute. What's going on?
What's going on? What's
up, Trav?
Trav is just fresh off the boat from Jamaica. He just came fresh from vacation.
Yes,
Was them Jamaican women wasting your time out there?
I mean, not really. You know, it was a good time out there. It wasn't nothing like that. You know, I went with family and friends and cousins and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. It wasn't that type of time.
Wasn't gonna waste my time bringing somebody out there. You feel me?
Right. Tell us about a time.
You can't bring sand to the beach.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't that type of party. But tell us about a time where you had your time wasted.
I had my time wasted.
Or just in general, how you feel like women be wasting people's time. Because I feel like I see you post on Facebook a lot, and a lot of your statuses are very general. It's like, women do this. And it's just like, Trav, shut the fuck up. Not all women do that. But, you know, I know that's how men feel when they see us say stuff like that. So I just let it rock.
I mean, for the most part, they do. I mean, women all do the same thing. I want to say that. And I completely believe that from the bottom of my heart. Y'all all move the same way. Like there's nothing different. I swear there's nothing different about y'all. Like it's just
this motherfucker dated the whole world.
Huh? I'm just telling the truth. Like me personally, I seen a lot of things, like, you know, relationship wise, girls talking to men wise. And it all ends up the same way, you know, like girls waste their time, they waste men's time. That's just how they are, you know.
But what's an example? Give us an example of how like women waste men's time.
All right, I give you an example. Okay, girls like to play the I didn't know card. You know that card where they're just all of a sudden. Now you know, Katie. Like, listen, girls when they start talking to a guy, the first thing they do is do all the research they possibly can. The Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, everything. You asking your friends, you asking your best friend, you asking everything because you're trying to find out about that one guy that you like. And then, you know, it comes down to that point where, you know, let's say you and that guy is talking and then you act like you just found out about the other 3 bitches he was talking. Oh, excuse my language. The other 3 women that you knew he was talking to, but you just want to, you know what I'm saying? You just wanted it to be a competition. I feel like women make everything a competition. And they need to understand that some guys like myself don't like that, you know?
So you don't want her to compete with the other 4 bitches?
No, there shouldn't be no other 4. I mean, unless that's
you
what
saying
you're
like
into.
girls will choose guys like that, then complain and be like, like you knew he had all
Exactly.
these bitches and now you mad.
Exactly. You can't sit here and expect somebody to feel bad about you when you put yourself in that situation.
Well, women like to we want to change somebody. We want to be like, because especially in rap music, they glorify like that woman that made them change and like she took me out the streets. I feel like every woman wants to be that girl for these dudes.
I mean, are y'all dating?
Not me though.
But
I want you to
think about it. Are y'all dating rappers or y'all dating real men? like people with regular jobs, like, you know what I'm saying? These people that are doing this are not rappers.
These 9-to-5 dudes be hoes too. They be going to different bitch every night. Do not let them fool you.
Point here, because you know what? I had to tell somebody the other day. I was like, look, this Megan Thee Stallion shit you be listening to talking about, you know what I'm saying? I can't hit it unless I'm paying the rent, paying the bills. I'm like, Sweetie's talking to Quavo. That nigga got millions, right?
Right.
I'm over here for this stimulus check right now. I'm not paying your bills and my bills.
Right. Exactly.
Time. That's a time waster right there. You wasted your time.
Exactly.
You need to know how to sift them out. The other way y'all be wasting your time, you just said it, is y'all be trying to change men. Y'all can't change us. We change when we ready to change. We're not trying to be stubborn, but that's just how it is. That's the laws of nature.
Exactly.
Like, when a man is ready to change and be committed and do what he got to do, he's gonna do that. Exactly. And the problem is y'all think that we dogs, like real dogs that need training, and y'all be trying to change us, and that's why y'all be wasting y'all time.
Exactly.
I feel you. I'm telling you, I had a man tell me on the first date that he had 12 bitches in hookah highs the week before, and I still continue to talk to him. Woo! And when it didn't go right, I was like, I looked at myself in the mirror. I said, "Bitch, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself." And I walked out, and that was that.
You saw all
that was that.
You can't.
She went 6 Flags. That shit was 6 Flags. All right, that was 12 flags.
You can't. You just can't. You can't be mad at nobody but yourself. But girls,
nobody.
They like to waste everybody's times, bro. I feel like girls got a type now, and their type is the same type of nigga, you know. So
that's not my type. That's not my type.
You just said it was.
Shut up. That was a flag on the play. That was a wrong move.
Come on, Katie. Like, come on. Come on.
Anyways, that's not. First of all, the person I'm currently dating don't have that type of energy. Thank you. Second of all, thank you guys for coming on today. We got to wrap up because my girl Queenie trying to come on. So we got to wrap this up. But I thank you both gentlemen, for joining me. I want you guys to plug everything you guys have going on because both of you have so much going on. You guys are very entrepreneurial. Is that a word? Men that I know, and you guys get to it. So tell everybody what you got going on, where these ladies can find you.
Set it off.
You want me to go first? All right. Well, yeah, I was DJing at Hookah Highs. You can always find me at Hookah Highs on Thursdays. Top Shelf Fridays, Saga Sundays, Springfield, Massachusetts. My Instagram handle is TravNew_, and Facebook Travis Newman. You can find me on there.
And nickname Trav the New Man.
Nickname Trav your new man. It all just goes so well together, But yeah.
Like that.
Thank you, Trav. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And for everybody, if y'all want to stay in contact with me, y'all could follow me on all social media platforms at Shot by Smooth. That's common spelling, SHOTBYSMOOTH. I gotta clarify that because they be like, "Oh, Smooth with the V." I'm like, no. I'm college educated. I know how to spell. So follow me on all platforms.
Kevin, please.
Yeah, and honestly, stay up to date with me, man. Literally, like, I'm a content creator here. I'm actually in the process of launching a new little something. I'm gonna keep that in the wraps until it's official. Other than that, I'm actually starting a new filmmaking program. I'm teaching some students here in the middle school kids here in New York City some stuff about filmmaking and photography, and I got a lot of other dope projects in the works too with a couple big brands. So stay up to date, and any way that I can help anybody or give y'all any feedback, tips, or gems, or plug y'all in, y'all holla at me.
Amen. And thank you guys for joining me. And make sure, first of all, y'all cop my creative career, cop that 4 Seasons on Amazon. Thank you guys for tuning in with What's the Word. See you guys next week for episode 10.